Good morning, good evening, and good night, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the Sly Report, and I am your host, Gold D. Rangs, first mate of the Gold Fang crew, and this is the news on One Piece 1108. So, without further ado, we gonna get into this news, and I'm gonna let you know what's happening. Let's go. So, we start this chapter where the last chapter left off, and we see Caribou begging and or slash bargaining for his life because Van Augur has his sights trained on him, and he's asking, yo, what do you want? He recognizes him, which I am a little bit surprised about, but hey, it is what it is. Van Augur keeps up with the pirates in the world. So, Van Augur's asking him like, hey, it doesn't matter if you're a pirate. This is a government island. There are people who want Blackbeard's head. What do you want? And Van Augur's like, wait, don't kill me, please. Caribou's like, wait, don't kill me, please. I just need to see Teach. I have valuable information. Matter of fact, if you kill me right now, he'll have your heads. And this piqued Van Augur's interest. He's like, what do you mean by that? And Caribou's like, I have valuable information. And then we have an inner monologue with Caribou, and he's talking about how he knows about two of the ancient weapons. He knows everything the Straw Hat knows about these ancient weapons, about Poseidon, about Pluton, and Wano, and in Fisherman Island, respectively. And this is the information he is going to bargain his life away. This is the information. You see, I'm excited. I got to calm down. This is the information that he is going to use to bargain his way to see Blackbeard. So, we don't see a response from Devon or Van Augur this chapter, but we do know that more than likely, Caribou is going to end up being in front of Blackbeard and sharing this information with him. I would be surprised if that did not happen. But we cut away from this faction and we cut to the Marines. Now the Marines, they're shitting bricks. They're like, hey, get away. We got to back the ships away. Like, what's going on? These pacifistas, they're destroying the ships. And on top of that, our weaponry is ineffective because of their bubble shields. And this is where we get a conversation between the vice admirals. Well, the start of a conversation between the vice admirals. And we get all of their names, respectively, in this chapter. The ones that we didn't know. And, the ones we didn't know, we do see Bluegrass this chapter. She is talking. And we also see Doberman. But we get the rest of these guys' names for what's going on. So, we're going to get to this conversation. And I'm going to tell you what's going on with them right in a second. So, we have Vice Admiral Bluegrass, and she's saying that it's frustrating that they can't really go all out and attack these pacifistas because they are part of the Marines. These are Marine property, these are Marine weapons. So if they attack and destroy these pacifistas, they're basically shooting themselves in the foot. Then we cut over to Vice Admiral Hound, who says, I know this is unprecedented, but maybe, possibly, if there's a way, we should probably call this Buster Call off just for right now. To which we see Vice Admiral Guillotine respond that there's no way they could stop this attack right now. Vegapunk is rebel scum. He's gave this pirate authority over all of these pacifista. Like, we have to take control of the pacifista back. To which Vice Admiral Doberman says, and he announces this to all available Vice Admirals, he's like, hey, we gotta target Bonnie. We gotta take her out, and we gotta regain control of these pacifista. So then we see a Vice Admiral. He's already on the island. He's in hot pursuit. He says, I'm on their heels. I got this. Don't worry about it. And this is Vice Admiral Tosa. And Vice Admiral Tosa thinks to himself, yeah, I'm about to sink these niggas with my 10-barrel finger gun. And he has hockey coated on his fingers, so this ain't just the average Roko Shiki technique. You feel me? He's like, this technique can pierce even the densest of armors. At least that's what he believes. So he's coming up on Bonnie and Frankie, and he's like, Tosa Crunch! And he's about to attack them, and Bonnie's like, what? Frankie's like, what? And then they even get more surprised because out of nowhere, we get Dory, not Broggy, we get Dory slamming Tosa with his axe. And to this, everybody's surprised. Atlas is surprised, Bonnie's surprised, Frankie's surprised, and Dory and Broggy are like, hey, we're here to help the Straw Hats. Who are you guys? We don't recognize any of you from their bounty posters. I like this because it lets me know that people outside of this arc, people around the world that are allied with our friends, Luffy and them, they are keeping up with the news on Luffy. So they have looked through the bounty posters to know who is on Luffy's crew. Though, this is a funny situation because Frankie is right there, but his bounty poster is of the Sunny. So they do not recognize Frankie. So they're like, hey, are you guys allied with Straw Hat? And Frankie's like, what do you want with my captain? Are y'all enemies? And they're like, no, we're friends. We cool with these with mans. You know what I'm saying? We here to help. So, to this, Bonnie says, hey, Luffy, Sanji, Vegapunk, they're all still in the middle of the island. Can you guys go help them out? And Dory smiles at her and he's like, of course we can. And as they begin to progress, they're like, oh, Vegapunk, we heard that name from the Scholar. And the Scholar was going to be important because I feel like there are other people in the community that feel like they're talking about Jaguar D. Saul. So, that's going to be important. And Saul gets another mention later. So I feel like this is a connection, that's not fully there, but it's, it's right there if you see it. So Dory and Broggy order one of their pirates to be like, hey, take these guys back to the ship. And from there, they're going to progress further inward into the island. So we are going to continue with our coverage of chapter 1108, and I will be right back with you to tell you what is next. From this point, we cut back to the Vice Admirals and they're continuing their talk. We get Vice Admiral, I believe his name is Urban. Yes, Vice Admiral Urban. He says the line went dead. What happened? Was he attacked? What happened? Then we get, what's his name? Vice Admiral, I can't think of his name right now. Hold on, I'll be right back with you. All right, I'm back, and his name is Vice Admiral Pomsky. We get Vice Admiral Pomsky, and he's like, well, did they counterattack? Was it the Giants? I'm about to head onto the island because we need to know what's going on. We need to get control of these pacifists back. We need to find a way to eliminate Bonnie. To this, we get Vice Admiral Bluegrass, who is saying, hey, Daw, come with me on one of these mechanized sea beasts. We're going to attack from the sea. So while they're riding out, they begin to have a conversation where Dahl is like, yeah, that ship that's on the northeast coast, that's definitely an Elbaf ship. And to this, Bluegrass says, yes, Giants, they're very vicious. You know what I'm saying? It's not going to be easy to fight these Giants. Have you ever fought a giant, Dahl? To which Dahl responds that she was actually under the command of a giant 20 years ago. And hearing this, Bluegrass is like, past tense, huh? So, oh, you must be talking about Saul. Yeah, he was a fierce warrior. So, the connection here is Dahl knows of the Giants via Saul. Bluegrass has obviously had encounters with the Giants based on her age, basically, is what I'm inferring from this. But she also knows of Saul. So I'm just saying, like, the Scholar connection, the Saul Giant connection, it's all right there. It's all right there. But we cannot stay here. We cannot stay focused on this. We then cut over to the giant that has Atlas and Frankie's group, and he's like, hey, where's the rest of you guys? Where's the rest of them? And Frankie's like, well, they're in the lab above us. And the giant's like, is that a sky island or like what's going on? And Frankie's like, no, not exactly. They're just above us. So, after this brief exchange, we get to part of the meat and potatoes. I'm gonna call this the meat, and then the thing that happens after that is the potatoes. or the thing that happens as a result of what happens in the meat brings us the potatoes. So we gonna take a small break. I'm gonna gather myself because I will get excited talking about this, and then we shall continue giving you the news. So we cut back to Luffy's group, and Luffy and Vegapunk are talking, and they're like, Vegapunk's telling them, hey, I can't move right now. Don't move me. If you move me, I'll most likely die. And Luffy's response to this, well, hey, we made you a promise to get you off this island, right? How are we going to do that if we can't move you? You know what I'm saying? Like, what's going on here? What are we doing? So, Vegapunk's like, yes, I know I said that previously, but actually, like, I made my bed, I might as well lay in it. There's things here I want to protect, so, like, just forget about me. I'll be fine. All I'm asking you to do now is protect Bonnie. I wasn't going to give her command of the pacifista or tell her about the command hierarchy until she was a little older. But now that I've done it, she will be a target. She will be hunted down and they will try and kill her at any cost. So please, please, I'm begging you, protect Bonnie. To which Luffy replies, well, we got to get you out of here, basically. And then Sanji, we see Sanji all this time while this conversation is happening. Saturn's rolling his way back up to the battlefield. And Saturn has gone full spider beast mode. I don't know, we're assuming this is a devil fruit power, so I'm going to say he's gone full Zoan, but he's gone full spider. And you never want to go full spider, but he has. So Sanji sees this and he's like, well, it looks like he's given up on all pretenses of looking even remotely human. There's a wild look in his eye, and it seems that he's coated in venom as well. And after he says this, Saturn begins his assault. And Sanji's like, Luffy, dodge. And Luffy's like, all right, no problem. And he's dodging pretty much easily. But while he's dodging, he's telling Sanji, hey, get Vegapunk out of here. I don't care if he's complaining or whatever. Get him out of here. We'll figure this out later. So Sanji's like, I got it. And I'm going to take this time to talk to y'all about Sanji. Because y'all see the shirt. This big Zoro team over here. But we do not disrespect Sanji here. Sanji is also a vital member of this crew. And I understand that there are people out there in the fandom that wanted Sanji to have his moment. An action to be like, oh, he's fighting Kizaru. He's fighting side by side with Luffy. Da-da-da-da. Or whatever. But what y'all need to understand is this is an escape mission first and foremost. And Sanji has made a promise to Bonnie that he was going to get Vegapunk out of there. And now he is being ordered by his captain to also take care of Vegapunk. So, this is not Sanji running. This is not Sanji being afraid to fight. This is not Oda hoeing Sanji in any way, shape, or form. This is Sanji being a loyal crew member and doing what is asked of him by his captain and also keeping a promise to Bonnie. So, I just wanted to say that. So, here we go. We are going to continue. As he is running away with Vegapunk in his arms, we see Kizaru sneak this man and get him with a nice light face kick, a light speed kick to his face. He goes flying. He's like, no, Vegapunk. And as soon as he does this, Kizaru turns around and stabs Vegapunk with his light sword. So now Vegapunk is in even more pain. He's if not dead, he's dying even faster. So Luffy and Sanji are like, no, Vegapunk. Luffy's like, Apple Gramps, no. And this is when Luffy steps in and he's like, all right, I've had enough of all of this shit that's going on. And we see him tell Sanji, hey, get him out of here, man. Get him out of here. It's like, go. So Kizaru, he's like, all right, I'm gonna he gets ready to pursue after Sanji and Vegapunk. He's like, nah, y'all can't escape. And then Saturn's coming in hot as well. We see Luffy turn giant and he grabs Saturn by his face. And then he grabs Kizaru in his other hand and we see a scowl upon his face as he says to these two mans, now you two And then he smiles, a menacing, devious smile of a sun god that he is. And he says, y'all know there's no way I'm letting y'all escape, right? And he's gripping Kizaru up. Kizaru has blood coming out of his mouth. Saturn's just staring. He's gone full spider. Right? He's not even talking. He's not saying nothing. He's just in attack mode. So Luffy has both of these mans at bay. Sanji has Vegapunk, and he's like, I'm sorry, Vegapunk. I didn't mean for this to happen. He's like, hey, don't die on me, Vegapunk. And then Vegapunk, he's fading, I guess, and he has a smile on his face. And Sanji's like, why are you smiling? What's going on? And then we hear a beep. We hear another beep. And we cut to the lab. And a pre-recorded message that Vegapunk has taken is being ready to be sent out to the world. And these are the final words of this chapter. Vegapunk says, hey, I know this might be a little jarring, it might be a little out of pocket, out of left field, but bear with me. There's something I need to tell you, and that something is the truth of the world we inhabit. And that, my friends, is the end of the chapter, but we're going to stay here for a second. We're going to talk because Vegapunk is about to drop the biggest lore bomb upon not just us, but the world as a whole. And there's many things it could be about. It could be about the ancient kingdom. It could be about the Gorosei and how they really run the world. It could be about any number of these things. It could include Kuma's story. It could include any number of things that we know and any number of things that we do not know. This is an exciting time, ladies and gentlemen, and I will be here to cover what happens next. But also, we must take a step back to when Luffy grips up these niggas and be like, hey, y'all not going nowhere. Because I, as a reporter, have seen people slander my man for weeks, saying Gear 5 has no tension. Gear 5 can't be serious. Luffy's just laughing about everything. He doesn't take anything serious that's happening to anybody. But did you see the look on my man's face? Did you see the seriousness that has come through on Luffy's face when he is gripping up these niggas talking about some y'all are not going anywhere? This is Luffy. He's always been goofy, and he's always been able to bring the seriousness despite being the goofy man that he is. These are important developments, ladies and gentlemen. Important developments. But I'm not going to talk to you too much about it. I've already said my piece on various other sites. But I will say this. For y'all that don't believe that this next chapter is about to be some of the most important information that we have ever gotten, I don't know what to say. Because when the lore comes, it never disappoints. But that is all for us today on the Sly Report, ladies and gentlemen. I would like to thank you for joining us today. Don't forget to like, comment, share, and subscribe. And we will see you next time on the Sly Report.